Hey, dude.
Wait, what? How the fuck did we end up here again, nerd?
Well, the lawyers got in contact with us and said if we ever wanted to be sponsored by YAG, we had to do everything they said.
Shit, man, those YAG lawyers really are nothing to mess with, huh? Well, this is the part where Rev usually comes in talking about a wolf with a beard, a rock who's good at poems, and of course, we can't forget about the apple that he loves so much. Oh, fuck it. Pass to whoever. Let's have a hella good time.
Alright, Yaggers. Happy Rabbie Burns Day. As some of you may know, January 25th celebrates the life and works of Scottish poet Robert Burns, or Rabbie Burns as he's known. Rev, being a failed English major, reached out to me to ask if I'd mind performing some poetry. And unknown to him, me and my mates, well, the lassies that I grew up, we used to be sending each other or doing crank calls and just reciting Burns down the phone to them at like 6 a.m. after a heavy night out, shit like that. He was a 17th century poet. He was a Republican insofar as that he was against the monarchy and things. He was not allowed to vote, and so his poetry and his writings were his way to get his voice heard. And it's had such an influence all around the world. Terms like catching the rye, the best laid plans of mice and men, these are all from his poetry. And so this was rammed down our throats as we were kids, right? And we did not always enjoy it because we had to like perform it in front of the rest of the class and things. But as an adult living away from the homeland, I've done some Scottish events out here and I've just really taken to some of his works. I believe that this poem in particular means more now than it ever has. And remember, this was written in the 1700s. So a man's a man for all that honest poverty is a song that has been utilised by many famous Scottish people to signify special occasions like the opening of the Scottish Parliament. And it was first featured in like a really radical monthly that had come out in Glasgow. It is wonderful. So I do encourage people to look more into it. You'll hear some of the lyrics where it's essentially talking down on monarchy, celebrity, and bootlicking, essentially. So I really wanted to send it and just really keep this in mind with everything that's going on in the world right now. And look at it and keep that independent mind and keep doing what you're doing and keep growing plants, because that's our way of expressing how we feel, that we're not going to stop doing this regardless of the legalities. So, Slangy, everybody, take care, don't be a dick, a man's a man for all that. Well, happy Burns Day, everybody. January 25th, 2025. I don't think a man's a man for all that honest poverty has ever had more meaning, maybe, until now. So, enjoy. Is there for honest poverty that hangs his head and all that? The coward slave we pass him by, we dare be poor for all that. For all that and all that, our toils obscure and all that. The rank is but the guinea stamp, the mound's the gowd for all that. What threw on him we fair we dine, we're hod and grey and all that. Gie fools their silks, the knaves their wine, a man's a man for all that. For all that and all that, their tinsel show and all that. The honest man, though is sae poor, is king o' men for all that. Ye see on Burkie cod a lord, who struts and stares and all that. Though hundreds worship at his word, he's but a coof for all that. For all that and all that,
his ribbon star and all that. The man o' independent mind, he looks and laughs at all that. A prince can mak a belted knight, a Marquis Duke and all that, but an honest man's aboon his might. Good faith he maun for all that, for all that and all that, that dignifies and all that. The pith o' sense and pride o' worth are higher rank than all that. Then let us pray that come it may, as come it will for all that, that sense o' worth o'er the earth shall bear the gree and all that. For all that and all that is coming yet, for all that, that man to man the world o'er shall brothers be for all that. Thank you.
Stoney, you're leading this episode.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Howling is going to be taking over for me this evening. We've got late breaking news. Thanks for joining us.
This just in. Rev's taking over.
If only you could have seen what we saw backstage. This would be one of those episodes. Yeah. Oh, it's really on me, isn't it, Johnny? All right. Well, off we go. Gentlemen.
Dude, that worked. Johnny. No, it worked. You interrupted. He was going to take it.
No,
I know. Johnny feels bad. He has morals, surprisingly. So I wanted to really, think of the easiest way to start this and put the kind of reverence on this episode I think it deserves. So I'll start this way. We have some amazing guests coming up here in the circle specifically, but these aren't those guests. This is Nerd Grows and the Grateful Gardener joining us on the circle. We'll start getting good guests one day, but no, I'm just kidding. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. Hey. It's great to be back.
What up,
With
Howling?
an intro like that, I'm surprised you didn't just click the fuck off the screen and be like, yeah, that was fun. Thanks.
I'm out.
Nothing.
They know what
great
they
guys.
did. Johnny, don't
What up,
defend them.
Howling?
They know
What
what
up,
they
Johnny?
Yo.
What up, Rev? Stoney, I can't believe you're showing your face around me, but
I know. What can I say, man?
do you want to tell the story or do you want me to?
You can
Now I
probably
need
start
to know.
with it. I'll finish it, but you can
All right.
start it, though.
All right, so me and Stoney are at this baseball game, and it's like not like a major league game. It was just one of the local teams. And
Bush League.
And we're up in the stands, and I don't remember who the batter was, but he just slams it, and it's coming right at me, right?
I'm
And-
firing Rumpelmans.
Yeah, right? Like,
Mhm.
Stoney knows that it's on my bucket list to catch a ball,
Mm-hmm.
and it's coming right at me, and I look over, like right as I'm about to catch it, I glance over at Stoney, and he's fucking my girlfriend.
Well, we did go see the Biscuits play. I mean, it was a minor league team, so something had to be buttered.
But I really just haven't
What?
forgiven him ever since.
What can I
It's
say,
off
dude?
the rails already. This is already off the rails. I was worried for a second.
I was muted,
like-
dude. I was gonna say I was gonna rip you so hard for that joke, but you actually got me to laugh. So I fucking love it, man. Because I was gonna be like, dude, this payoff is fucking terrible. Like, and then that was a pretty good one. That is a great intro to the circle. Nerd and grateful. We don't regret inviting you ever. I like how I'm blaming you for the circle being off the rails. Like every circle before hasn't been
Yeah.
incredibly off the rails.
This is a pretty straight lace show.
Well, we're the straightest of the laced, bro. Yeah, so we could have had Stoney host this episode, but Johnny has morals and felt bad. So I guess I will. What have you guys been up to, man? Anything exciting?
Don't
Don't jump all at once.
We just had Flam on this last weekend, man, and as y'all know, it's great to talk with him. He's a cool guy, man. So I always
Is it
enjoy
great to
getting
talk
our-
with him or just let him talk most of the talking?
I mean, as you guys know, he makes our job easy, right? Like we just
Oh yeah.
press
Oh, once
record
you-
and there we go. He's gonna
Once you
take
get him
off on
started,
us,
that's
so.
it.
You could spend a whole
Love it.
weekend with him and never say a thing and have it be a comfortable conversation. Just kind of smile and that every once in a while. And it's like, holy shit, I don't even have to be here.
He is too
Also,
funny.
we Grateful Nerd just turned 1 year old 2 weekends ago.
Ooh, congrats.
That's a big
Yep.
one.
That's what I was trying to allude to. Sorry. You just had your 1 year anniversary with each other. Do you have any favorite moments from the first year? Anything that you really enjoyed?
I think for me, like that rosin press video, for something that I just enjoy doing, and again, I never thinking that I was gonna put anything on camera and being able to put something out there that people obviously enjoyed. That's pretty memorable for me. I know.
Hell yeah.
So
That was just last year.
yeah, that wasn't technically it's
Couldn't have been longer ago.
yeah. I mean, we made that was when we made our first reel, so we hadn't even been on YouTube then. I don't know how long we've been on YouTube now.
Yeah, it's
but
like
I
8
know
months or something.
yeah. So
Yeah, we
Oh,
used to
shit.
Instagram reels for the first couple months.
Yep.
Yeah, some of those old classic ones are great. In general, I just like having a new group of friends. Like we got to go see Coheed and Cambria. That was awesome.
yeah. Yep.
Who?
Didn't they just release a new song?
Two.
On YouTube. Two, yeah.
Yeah. March is their new album.
This isn't going to be one of those bands I go and listen to and make you fucking guys feed the jar, is it?
No, they're like
Not like a Ween based
progressive
band.
rock.
They're like
They are kind of
Rush
weird.
Jr.
Like
Pretty cool.
yeah.
Don't call him
Like
Rush
modern Rush.
Jr. How dare you? Don't insult Rush like that.
No, but-
They couldn't even dream to be Rush Jr. Come on, baby. I know. Greatest drummer
Yeah.
of all time.
If you listen to all the
He's such a
albums, in
great
order, it
drummer.
tells like a Star Wars epic sci-fi type story, and there's comic books that go with the albums and shit. It's really fun.
It's pretty cool.
I had
But do
no
either
idea
of them
that any
collect
of them-
baseball cards or balls? Because fucking
Balls? Most
Neil-
likely.
Yeah, Giddy Lee, dude. Giddy Lee collects baseballs like crazy. It's the weirdest Canadian collector I've ever seen. Anyhow, sorry. Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Well, I mean, I heard Anne Murray collects souls, and that's a little bit worse.
I wouldn't know. We don't have one.
True. We're safe from the Anne Murray Classic Collection, Time Life Collection.
So, Nerd, last time you were on, you had just been growing, like your anniversary, right? Like your 1 year anniversary?
Yeah, you guys had me on like the week before 1 year.
Yeah. How's it been going since? How's your girl been going since?
Pretty good. I've switched over to more organic stuff. I've taught myself how to like pop regular seeds and sex them. So I'm still building skills. I upgraded my rosin press. Or actually, I think I just bought that last time I was on. But yeah. It's going pretty well.
What's up with your worm bin? How's that going? I know you made some like DIY changes and you were doing
Oh,
something
yeah,
with
that
one.
I never
the
brought it in
tote-
from the garage, so I'm assuming all the worms are dead now, as it's 1 degree outside. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna have
I'm
to
sorry.
get
I'm
that
sorry.
restarted.
It's what degree? It's 1 degree outside?
It does go
Yeah.
that low.
That's
Mhm.
insane. That shouldn't be legal. Have you thought about petitioning your congressman to try and fix that?
Excuse me, kind of a space heater.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. I was gonna say, John. I wonder if Johnny knew that beforehand, because his next question is gonna be, "Hey, what happened to that clone I gave you?"
Nah, you guys knew that one was dead.
Yeah, we heard that story. Also, I managed to kill all of the cuts of that too. She's long gone. So my hella jelly,
Yeah,
she's gone.
it would be super funny if you got super pissed. You're like, "Nerd, what? I gave that to you. You
I
were
was
supposed to keep it
relying
alive."
on you.
And
You
then,
were
like a
trusted
week
with it.
later, yeah, a week later, you're like, "I killed them all, dude."
At least he tried with his. Mine did go outside, like I said, and She didn't.
You
fare
baked
long.
yours.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I've heard at least an episode or two of Johnny, and every time he talks about his garden, there's some sort of fungus, mold, mildew, bug, or something other I don't want in my fucking house. So I ain't bringing his shit anywhere near my fucking garden. It's exactly what he said.
It
Yeah,
is a very
sure.
nice way of saying, dude, I am not going to buy another tent to put this in.
Yep.
Dirty ass
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah. It's like those gifts where you have to buy shit. You're like, yeah, man, thanks for the gift of spending more money, jackass.
She was unsavable, anyways.
Yeah.
Well,
I still got a
it's-
little
but
bit of
at
that
least-
rosin left, barely, but it's. I'm still hanging on to it. It's that hella jelly.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny's eyes just lit up.
It's good, dude.
Yeah, it
Came
was
out really good.
the way it pressed. I was actually pretty impressed with. I was quite happy, and the smoke off of it was off the press was like, my word, yeah. So I've got the pineapple muffin going now from Humboldt, the same fucking breeder. So I'm excited to fucking see what this pineapple muffin's gonna do if I get any sort of similar fruity candy terps off of it. So
Now, did you just plant one, or are you looking at a couple? And
I planted 2, and I've got 2. So I've got 2 of the pineapple muffin going in the 4x4.
cool.
Yeah. So that'll be exciting. Maybe we'll get something new out of this, something new to play with and pass around.
I'll be
Maybe
curious
you'll
to see.
find a new favorite.
I'd be curious about the muffin. I've been hearing that in a little bit more recently in some other strains. And it's got that sweet cake batter, like yellow cake batter, Duncan Hines style. It's got that super sweet over the top kind of battery flavor to it. Yeah, I'm curious to see because I tried some blueberry muffins that knocked my socks off. So, and it had some like pure raw sweet, like that white batter, not even the yellow kind, but like with pineapple, I just go straight to the like eggy, yolky Duncan Hines cake batter. Yeah. Curious to see.
I hope that's why I planted them.
Yeah. Especially with pineapple. I love pineapple upside down cake too. It's one of my absolute favorites.
So
I've only been able
just
to
cut
get
down-
Betty Crocker terps. So
Yeah. Well, I think there's that like white cake batter, that like it's not like yolky or anything. It's just like real, and that's like when that's what I got out of like the blueberry muffins was that white cake batter. But I'm like I've tasted some elsewhere, then I was like, I think that there's like yellow custardy into it. Could just be me though.
Yeah, I need some terps in my life.
Yeah, man. Golden pineapple.
It's the whole reason I fucking like enjoy this anymore. It's just like the hunt for something fucking just loud and just something me. That's what makes it so much better. And every time you go to a fucking dispo, it's the same shit no matter what you do. Right? Like no matter what fucking strain I get from a dispensary, it tastes like, well, that got fucking cooked in a microwave.
Oh, no.
You'll find that when it's just super dry anyway. Sorry, I had to change out of that frog costume. It was really fucking hot.
It did look good though.
I mean,
It did look
Yeah.
it was a slippery. It was a slippery wetsuit, but form fitting and all.
I have so many funny wetsuit stories to tell you some other time, my friend. But
Just keep the hot water hose
wanted
down in the winter, dude.
no, generally not hot water taps at the beach, but there's a natural man-made hose that'll keep you warm between your legs. Howling, I have so many questions about everything. How are you? Is your stomach intact? Are you staying alive?
I'm trying to stay alive. It's kind of weird.
I was gonna do that.
Life got kind of like growing. Life got boring. I decided to change it up and get some of my colon removed. Why not? Let's see how this goes.
Oh yeah.
It was. I'm doing good. I think I'm doing a lot better than the first the first 24 hours sucked ass. And other than that, it's been every day getting better and better. Now it's to the point where like I'm getting stir crazy. My the major pains are gone, but I know that I'm not in the clear yet, and that's really deceiving because now I want to start doing a bunch of shit. So it's trying to keep myself out of trouble and take it easy. I got this week off of work too because they suggest like 2 weeks off. So now I'm just doing a bunch of shit. I think I've been more productive in the last 2 days than I have been in the last year. Like I've made some fermented vegetables and fed the
Hot
worm bin a
sauce?
real good stuff. Yeah, I made hot sauce and
Hell yeah.
I set up another tent. Like it's just been nuts the last couple of days because I'm just like I got to do something. And plus, it's like anxiety. Like I know the days are counting down until I have to return back to fucking work again. So now it's like, what can I cram into this?
Do they got you on like weight restriction, like how much you can pick up and
Yeah,
stuff?
that's the problem. Is it's like around 10 pounds or so because they don't want you getting a hernia because there's 5 incision. Yeah, no, the drain was the 5th one. So there's 4 incisions for the operation, and one of them's a pretty gnarly one. Like so, it was robotically done, except for one spot near your belly button, which is like the incision's maybe 4 inches long. And then that's where they do a lot of the work. Like that's where they take the colon out. That's where the camera goes in. That's where they flood your abdomen. That's where all the major shit happens, except for the robotic arms. And so that one is the gnarly one. And so, yeah, they poke through your abdominal wall. So you got about 10-pound weight restriction for 2 to 6 weeks, depending on the person.
Which my mom's upset.
I know. I'll get back to her. It's okay. Just like TikTok came back, I'm going to come back too, baby.
12 hours.
Yeah.
Quite the refraction period.
I wonder how many people were super bummed. I didn't talk to my sister, but I bet you she was fucking devastated for like at least 4 of those hours.
My oldest son, I mean, he is just like, he was the first year of Gen Z, and like he's just every bit of stereotype of it when it comes to social media. And like TikTok is his thing. And he even started using that other Chinese knockoff where everything's in Chinese, or is not even English words in the app. It was like Red Book or something like that. He had to get his fix through that. And it's like, so you changed out like one Chinese spy for another. That's fine. But like it was just going nuts. And, now they're back on it, I could do away with it. Like there was a time where TikTok wasn't so bad back in like the COVID era. This where like people had to find a new way to connect. And so like they were using TikTok in all sorts of ways, but like now it's just stupid. It's a money grab. It's just people trying to figure out how to get money. That's all.
I will say it was always stupid.
It was not
a time in the COVID era where it was dope.
And get off the lawn, okay? Get off the lawn.
I know.
Did you just compliment our short videos like 15 minutes ago?
The old fuckers.
No. I am proud to say that I did not compliment your shorts. Yet I will, of course, because they were great and you're my friends. But it wasn't me that time; it was Johnny. But yeah, no, I never downloaded TikTok or any of that stuff. I was never on Facebook or Twitter or any of that stuff.
I'm not on TikTok.
I don't doubt that. I always think it's like all the people that were complaining that like Twitter got ruined and shit or whatever. I was just like, it's always been stupid to me. Like, I don't really give a shit what people think, right? Like, who cares what someone's idea is about lunch or something? Like, oh, fuck off. Come on. It's more important shit. But that's just, like Johnny says, I'm an old man who just yells at people to get off my lawn.
I was on TikTok back when I was still running the horror movie website, and I got banned for gore, and I just never went back.
You get horror getting banned for gore. That is awesome. Isn't
I was like, yeah, I can't.
I know this is a whole side conversation, but isn't TikTok the reason that people use dumb shit like unalive and fucking censor swear words on the app and shit too because of their weird censorship thing?
YouTube as well.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's so.
If you
that one is the most infuriating.
Yeah, so the way it works on YouTube is if you get if you do some messed up stuff, they only pay you half instead of full, and then if you do too much messed up stuff, they don't pay you at all. They still run the ads and take the money, but
every bit just to not pay out any reason they can find.
No, I get that. Like, I guess if you're making your living doing it, you would avoid it. But if you're just putting up videos, who gives a shit? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's because like
I
if
would just
you
imagine
if you
censoring
swear too
yourself.
much, you like Disney won't run ads on your video, and Disney pays $2 per ad. But you know the Hentai website pays 10 cents an ad, and no
Yeah,
one
that
on
makes sense.
anything,
There you go.
right?
That makes sense. Disney needs to stop being so full of themselves. Fuckers are guilty of a lot more than swearing.
We've all seen Fantasia.
Yeah. Seriously.
Well, I mean, they're
But,
the ones that Disney's the one that runs Deadpool, right?
They own Marvel.
They own
Yeah.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so you know what? They need to ditch all their morals out or whatever they think out the window here. When you start producing things like Deadpool, it's out. What the fuck you doing censoring? You don't want your ad in some video that someone swears in. You fucking produced Deadpool, which also Deadpool versus Wolverine is probably the best movie ever made. But I mean,
it's a
still.
good movie.
I will
I don't know
clarify.
ever, but
Disney
it's
was
a
just
good
the
movie.
example I used. I don't actually
No,
know
no.
what their ads are.
Oh,
Nerd Grow
You can-
hates
Now you
Disney.
paper towels if you
Nerd
want.
Grow hates Disney, and we need to associate Grateful Nerd with their hatred.
I was
of
about
Disney.
ready to wage war on Disney because of you. Jeez.
I
That's
live
true.
I was
next
saying,
to
at least
Disney,
it's
dude.
Disney.
At
At least
Man,
I
it's
don't-
have
Disney.
don't
Disney
like
episode
Marvel.
instead of a state. We're attacking Disney instead of a full blown state. We're just going right after everyone's childhood. Just fuck that company.
You
They-
know it's similar because they do own practically the city that they're in, right? As someone who lives fairly close to Disney, and I even brought up this point earlier today with Chuck, Disney at one time owned two of the sports teams that I rooted for growing up, right? They had the Angels and the Ducks, both owned by Disney.
I didn't know they actually owned them. That's cool.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thought they
They-
hated
they-
it really less than us.
Yeah, they just no,
I
but the
would-
worst thing about it too is they won and then they immediately sold because it was finally worth some shit. They were just like, we don't want to be in this because it was losing money, right? Like they barely put any money into their franchises. That's what happens when you know have a movie turn into a sports franchise in Anaheim. But no, I don't want to shit on Disney. This is a grow podcast, I think. So Howling, you've found it, I'm sure, quite difficult with all of your injuries that you've also had a light go out and all kinds of other negative shit.
Yeah. Then the driver on my newer light that I got like less than a year ago, it shit the bed, and it wasn't easy getting in the tent to troubleshoot things. I got these. There's 3 plants, but 2 of them are pretty big, and so with my injuries, trying to navigate through the tent to test out a driver and figure out what the hell is going wrong, yeah, it sucked. But thankfully, my light emporium came through, and I had some extra lights I could hang up in there, and they didn't weigh much. They're only like 5 pounds each, so I could do it myself and pop those in there. But my new driver comes tomorrow, so it sucks that it went out, but they were super helpful with getting me a replacement, and I did not have to speak Chinese to do it. It was a quick email. I said, I did this. They're like, yep, sounds bad. Here's a new one. And that was about it. So I'm stoked to get that light back going again and see what happens. But I think it's kind of a blessing. I don't get much stretch out of plants when I use these Migro lights, and so that's what I popped in that tent, and I think it's actually slowing down the stretch a little bit. I've had some horrendous stretching last run with this light, this newer light. So I think maybe it was a little bit of a blessing in disguise that I was able to pop the Migros in there for a few days. It just kind of slowed them down because that was my worry again, is growing up into the light. So I think it was just a little bit of a blessing. Tomorrow's going to suck. I was already in the tent today, and I mean, just after a few days, the plants are even fucking bigger. I don't know how I'm going to get in there. I got to get the old lights down. I got to reach up and try to get the driver back up in there. It's going to be a little project tomorrow, but whatever. We'll get it running again. And I'm hoping it's the driver. Like there's like 5% of me that's worried that like maybe there's just something else going on and it's not the driver. I'm going to look like such a fucking idiot to them. So we'll see.
What week of flower are you in?
I think I'm day 11 today. So when this went out, it was day 7. So it was not at a great time for me to be
No.
fucking with the light. And so I put the Migros in there. I put them kind of close to stop the stretch, and I actually cranked the lights up pretty high, a lot more than I normally do, just to blast them with fucking light for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to be kind of that with the super cropping. It's kind of holding them down. Today I'm day 11, so I think the stretch, I may just have a few more days of a little bit of stretch, but I think I'm not going to grow in the light this time, which would be totally fucking cool.
Yeah.
So
Depends
yeah.
on what side you're looking at it from.
Yeah, fuck off. I do not need to do that again. That was a hell of a grow. I think I had to throw away most of the flour from that grow, and I burnt out a bar on my light. I don't want to repeat all that again. No fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds horrible.
I think I'm starting to get to that wall of the equipment that I purchased in the very beginning, because it's been I think 4 years now. 3 or 4 years now. Things are starting to, like, I'm looking at my light going, I don't think that's as bright as it used to be. Like, it can't be that, you know. I mean, and it was an all-in-one investment, and like my little 4-inch fan went kaput on me for my little 2x4. I was like, it died out on me, and I was like, oh, I went to go look and see about replacing. It was like purchased in 2022. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense.
Going through this and going through my lighting emporium, I realized I have lights I never even used, and I don't know why the fuck I bought them. I got 2 Mars Hydro lights, and they're not like big bar style lights or anything. They're just enough to cover like a 2x2 area. I got 2 Mars Hydro lights that are still in the boxes. Don't even know why I got them. And then I just hooked up today my single bar Migros light for a new tent I set up that's above my I planted a Dakar haze into a frog pot. I was doing that with Mr. Judas. So I was like, I need a place to put this. So I set up another tent, and I'm using this Migros 1-bar light that I bought, still never used. At least it was not in the box. I must have got close to hanging it up at one time, but
Hey,
it still was never used.
I'm glad you brought this up. I hope everyone is prepared. We kind of have a problem, Howling.
Oh shit.
You're probably all wondering why we called this meeting.
As your friends, we're here for you.
Guys, family's calling. I gotta go now. Now's not the good time. Now's not a good time.
I got a light being delivered.
No. Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry, but when I heard I've got a couple of lights that I haven't even opened, I'm like, okay, I got a couple of like cheap Chinese lights and some other like blurples and stuff like that. And then you're like, yeah, it's a nice light. I'm just like, fuck.
No, they're not. They're not like great or anything. I forget why I bought them. They're okay lights. I mean, they're just average lights, and I bought them probably for some stupid ADD project I had in my mind at the time, and just never ended up using. And whatever.
No.
They're still in a box, not being used.
They'll eventually get used. This is just proof that you need to do more things.
Well, I think it is a good lesson, like, to have backup lights, because, you know, like, if
I would have been fucked.
Yeah, if mine goes out, I'm gonna go from, you know, like I think it's the ROI 420 down to like maybe 1,000 watts. Maybe I could get another extra light in there, like, because I've got a little tiny, like the Metagrow or Metagrow, whatever those are. Same kind of thing. I just got it for like a little side project, or had it grown in one tent. Otherwise, you know, so if I had a light go out, I'd be pulling those things out, but I don't even know if I have enough power to be running both of those things individually on their own drivers. So
here is why I will advocate for cheap Chinese lights, because if it goes bad, you just get another shitty backup one that you put in, and you're just constantly getting mediocre results, right? Well, if you don't ever exceed high, you can't be disappointed by low.
My other working theory right now is, before this thing goes kaput, invest in a new one, and then when the new one comes in, either start a new grow with it or replace it as I am.
See, I'm just
and then I've got a backup
ahead.
one, right? So maybe that's where you're at, Dave.
Like
Yeah,
some
you're just-
people
you're
wait till like 4
stockpiling.
Planning for
years.
obsolescence.
I just wait only 1 year before getting a new light, and then I still have 3 years on that light that I could be using it if I need to. It's just
It's a
I'm little
backup to
ahead
your
of it.
backup, bro.
Right.
I mean,
The simplest way to justify it is to just say that in probably 5 years, the federal government will somehow ban growing fucking shit in your own house and ban those lights. So you're just, you're stockpiling in case of a future ban.
Surplus.
There you go.
Howling surplus.
You're prepping.
Although, I mean, well, it's going to suck that I'm going to admit this because I'm sure I'll get some shit. But I have that reversal project that I'm going to work on, and then some maybe photo auto stuff going on. And I have all these lights, and I'm like, yeah, I could use these in tents. And I'm already looking at buying a new light. So
Yeah.
So
it's a fucking problem.
What's gonna be your plan for the whole area that you'll be working in? How many tents?
For the reversal?
What size tent? Yeah.
The reversal is going to be 2x4. So I got the 2x4. I already have a tray to grow. I bought that, so I'm going to set it up, and I think it may. I want to get it as far away from my lung room as I can. Like I am not as brave as you are, and so I'm getting it far away. So it's my lung room, my flowering tent is downstairs. So I think I'm gonna put the reversal tent up in my office right next to me, and I'll still put it on filters and shit to try to prevent it. But I think it's gonna go up here, and I have a spot right to the left of me that I'll pop that tent. So
Nice.
yeah, a 2x4. I have no other 2x4 with a tray to grow tray in it because I ain't fucking watering that shit forever. And I narrowed down, so I'll do the reversal plants, and then I have a few photos that I narrowed down that I'm gonna run inside there and just get some seeds from and see where it goes. But yeah, we'll see. 2x4. Everyone said like there's people that do reversals and all that kind of shit in a 2x2. So I figure a 2x4 with the tray would be pretty okay. We'll see how it goes. I'm not fancy like the 4x4.
Speaking of 4x4, my mom just spent a whole bunch of money sponsoring a fucking video for Grateful over here in his new 4x4. So let's talk about that fucking little
Shout out,
conundrum.
Mom.
What's it like going back to fucking tent growing there?
I mean, I haven't. It's weird to see the tent up now. I haven't fully switched over because I leave all the doors open since I have all those plants in there. So I haven't. It's just weird. I feel cramped in there.
I was gonna say, does it
it's
cramp your
definitely-
style, man?
Yeah. It's definitely it's something to get used to for sure.
Because
So
your room's pretty big now. Like, how big is that room that you have?
it's a 10.5 by 10.5.
Yeah, it's like a big room to be in, and then have to be in a cramped like 4x4.
Yeah, it took up a lot more room than I was really. I didn't initially like measure it out, and what I thought a 4x4
lost a
in
quarter
my
of your
mind
room.
was. Yeah, so but we live and learn, and I had to
How tight to
readjust
the
things.
ceiling is it?
It's right up there. I mean, I
Yeah.
can get probably like 2 inches maybe. So
I realized because I was gonna get a gorilla to put in my basement because that's what I'd started
Those
with.
are 80 inches, aren't they?
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like doing the math, and I'm like, that thing's in my AC Infinity 5x5, like it slides underneath the joists. You know what I'm saying? Like it's tight.
Yeah.
It's tight, man. And
Yeah.
I've got a drop ceiling on the other side, and there's no way I could fit a
Yep.
full size.
Yeah, so that's when I first had that room. When we moved in here, it was originally an office, and they had drop ceilings, and that's what I had originally done. I had a short 2x4, and then I had a gorilla tent 3x3, and I had to like notch out, where the drop ceilings were, and like slide it up in there just right. And it worked for a little bit, but then
Yeah.
those drop ceilings came down, and we readjusted things. So
I do actually think I would like the way that looks, though. Just the fucking drop ceilings cut away perfectly from
kinda
the
cool
tent.
looking,
Looked
yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
But yeah, no, those drop ceilings, I was just it was terrible, man. Like that was my first grow, and I had done just like a little plant off to the side, and if I like accidentally hit the ceilings, there like shit would fall down. And I was like,
Mm.
there's no way I'm doing this for too much longer. So
That's so fun. Take your plan
no.
out to take a picture, and you just get shit all over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now I just have to be careful with my beard hair. I'll walk back in and I'll see a big old beard hair hanging off something. So
Let's start
What
wearing
was that,
beards now.
Johnny?
I'm trying to unmute Nerd because he's trying.
I was
going to
say, Nerd Grow's
badly,
been-
but he's
yeah.
muted. Yeah.
Nerd Grow's been muted this whole time.
Oh yeah, it's just because I'm sick. I wasn't trying to talk or anything. I was just
Oh.
talking.
It looked like your
Oh,
mouth
you-
was trying to move.
he
Like
doesn't-
you were participating right in your mic,
No,
like
he
right
doesn't-
there in your mic, like trying to participate, and then he's on fucking. He was even it was like, oh, it's fucking. Listen, from my
He made it very
perspective,
clear,
was
Johnny.
hilarious.
He doesn't want to He doesn't want to participate. He just made that very clear.
Yeah,
No.
he's sick. He's sick of us.
I know.
I heard him say
We
it.
forced him. We forced him to come on the podcast when he's sick and it's 1 fucking degree outside. How terrible are we?
So I'm actually not sick anymore. Right? I had the flu for the past, I don't know, like 8 days. Today's like the second
Ooh.
or third day where I'm feeling decent. But now, like, my body's doing all the healing from coughing for a week.
Hmm.
I have like a
that
6
pleasant
pack right
feeling.
now. It's wild. It's
Hell
in there
yeah.
somewhere, but I have it.
Yeah, it's hidden. It's well camouflaged. Well,
That was-
Howling, before we move on from you and I get everyone else involved, you've recently kind of made your decision on what you're going to throw little pollen at, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I did.
He hasn't.
No, I definitely know two. I'm debating if
Yeah.
I'm going to do more than just the two. So I have the reversal plants, and then 2 photos I'm going to do is I've never ran his gear, but I know Monster talks a lot highly of Mass Medical. I know a lot of other people do, and so I started because I was fucking bored and looking to spend money somewhere, just as a dopamine hit. I started reading. He has awesome documentation about the strains that he has. I really like it. So I started going through all of them. I'm like, there was 2 that stuck out to me. I'm like, well, fuck, it'd be awesome if a seed bank had these. And sure enough, Neptune did. So I'm going to run Mass Medical's Chem Pupil and Triangle Kush. And for 2 different, they're like intentional. Besides the fact that I really like the effects of what they say, and I think it'll complement the Silmoso reversal. The Chem Pupil has a lot of like gassy chem notes to it, and so does Silmoso. So I think that'll work out pretty well with some citrusy back end stuff going on. And then, so I think that'll be a nice one. And then Triangle Kush, I mean, I love like OG Kush type stuff. So I think that would be awesome. But I also picked it because it'll be the recipient, and it's known to be really lanky and stretch like 3 or 4x. So I think it's Silmoso, from what I recall, is kind of like a little squat little thing. So I think maybe it'll tame it, and there'll be a good pairing together. So I'm gonna see how those 2 go, and I might pick like a 3rd photo to toss in there, or maybe just another auto. I don't have anything in mind. So if you guys got like a suggestion to like where it complements Silmoso, that I'm all ears. But so far, that's what at least I'm gonna do.
Solid plan, dude.
And then I'll get my shirt that says "I buy seeds just to feel something."
I
buy seeds so I don't feel dead inside. So yeah, I think that's what it's narrowed down to. I'll probably get started next month. I gotta like, my brain is broke about trying to do the timing, like just trying to time reversals in general. Like I know like there's like a few weeks you want to stagger your donor and your recipient, and so that's timed out well. But then now I got to factor in the photo part, and when do I veg those and then flip them and time that with the auto? We'll see.
Excellent. It is something that you should also remember. You need to heal. You just fucking had surgery.
can't
so
stop.
it's
Major
okay.
surgery, dude. So
I know, major surgery.
I have
but
actually
do
been really
appreciate
good
that.
this last week. So like, I mean,
You
it might
have.
sound I am doing a lot, but it's being careful. I'm watching myself, and I have been taking it easy. That's why I'm going to give myself to like mid next month, and that's like the general healing period they say anyway. So that's what I'll do.
I think that's wonderful, and you are right. You have been taking it easy. You've done a lot of fucking cool ass shit.
I'm on season 5 of
circling back,
Yellowstone.
Not the cool shit I was talking about, but okay. No, the hot sauce that you recently made.
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that and who helped you out before we move on?
Yeah. The dude that is behind the Blue Sormiga hot sauce collab with Alebrije. Now I forgot. It's only been a couple days, but I forgot how I started. I reached out to him about something, and somehow we just kicked it off. And what? Oh, yep, there we go. Yeah, so we just started talking about hot sauces. I think I might have asked him about something. He posted something, and I just asked him and followed up, and we just been talking. And he's been a huge help, just giving me suggestions of how to make a hot sauce, and like not giving me recipes and anything, just general guidance, and just basically said Google for like a well-known recipe, start from there and try to learn the basics and like a few tips on how to do it. So I chose peach habanero, and I did that yesterday, and it's like peach habanero, garlic, some apple cider vinegar, salt, and then a little bit of honey, because I was finding it like the garlic and the heat was coming out too much. So I know sweetness kind of tempers heat a little bit. And the brown sugar I put in there just wasn't doing it. So I just grabbed some raw honey and put a little bit of that in there. I didn't like it yesterday. It was very garlic forward, which normally I like, but maybe not in a sauce, like a hot sauce. And the sweetness wasn't there. So it's just like, this is kind of like a mediocre hot sauce. But I tried it today, and I was like, yeah, you know what? The garlic mellowed out. The peach is coming forward. And so I like it today. And I was talking with him, and he's like, yeah, he waits a few weeks. He bottles and waits a few weeks before even thinking about shipping them out or anything. So he can do another test and see what they're like. So it's promising. It's not where I want it, and I can't really explain what I want. I kind of want like this tangy, fruity with a little heat. I don't like super hot things. So I think the next route is sometime this week I'm going to try to learn how to preserve lemons, and then in a month try it again. I want to do a blackberry preserved lemon thyme hot sauce. So I think that's what I'm going to try.
That sounds really good.
It's like stupid simple and doesn't take a lot of time to put one together, and then you get fun shit to try out like a week later. You don't have to wait months for something. It's just a week. So it's cool.
There's a there's a Peruvian pepper that you should look into. It's called the ají amarillo. So it's like a little yellow but pepper, but it's got
Google that if you can.
You're gonna have to type that out
right off
for
the
me.
top of your head.
Well, then we'll circle back onto it. But the ají amarillo, it's Peruvian. There's a hot sauce that's made with it.
Oh, cool.
But it's very mellow, and it does really well with giving think of like a yellow bell pepper with just a little bit of heat behind it. But the yellow bell pepper is kind of almost like roasted and tender, and so it's vegetal to a sense, but it has a little bit of sting. And you put it behind something like a fruit or a mango or a peach or something like that, and it'll support it.
And I think it was on Alebrije's Discord where we were talking about like the Sugar Rush peppers and stuff, and someone suggested, because I ordered them, and I think it was from a discussion there about the habanero peppers or something, and they're basically habaneros without the heat. So I actually had the seeds. I'm like, I recognize this. So I went through my mail, and I'm like, oh, there's my Baker Creek seed order with it. So I'm like, cool. So I'll probably end up popping some of those seeds this week. I mean, I won't get the peppers for months, but I'm setting the stage up for when I'll revisit. I might do like half of those and half of habaneros, and it'll give me the same intense flavor, but cut it in half.
Oh yeah. It's a damn shame that Yag doesn't have any chefs that we could talk more about hot sauce or anything about. But I'd like to bring in Stoney. Stoney, how you doing? How's your garden lately?
Overgrown. I remember one of the couple episodes ago when I said, don't put 5 plants into a 5x5. You should probably stick with 4. Yeah.
Paying the price now. Huh?
Yeah. Everything just kind of tipped over 2 days ago to no more humidifier. Now it's taken me a couple days. I put the small dehumidifier in there, and it was not able to keep up. They're drinking 5 gallons every day or so, day and a half between the 5 of them. And they're just doing spectacular. Tangy's like 3.5, almost 4 foot tall, and just taken over the entire room. Cosmic Queen is just kind of tucked into the corner with these razor sharp, the thinnest leaves I've ever seen. Just like, and they're the size of my palm. They're massive.
So you're gonna get rid of it, right?
The Valencia Kush is just overgrown and blown. I had to go in yesterday and defoliate about beach ball size from the inside of them, just to keep the humidity down inside of them, and just really trimmed up the bottoms, and put the big dehumidifier in there. And as you guys knew, when we fired up the show, everyone could hear every bit of HVAC pumping and pushing and pulling every bit of air into that thing that I possibly could. So it's shut down now and wide open and crossing fingers. So, better off than where I was the last round. So good, super organic soil with this one, and a fresh batch of it too. Huge difference. It's been, I was talking before a couple episodes ago how long it's been. It's been 2 to 3 years since this original batch of soil that I've added stuff to it, but I'd not started from zero and fresh batch of soil in a long time. So it was definitely worthwhile. But yeah, cranking along, man, and definitely could need it after the last rounds of yield. So definitely could use it. So I've been gifted some incredible stuff. I'm still working through some of Howling's delights. So it's always fun to pull those out. I keep those as my super special treat. So the Blues Ormiga was tonight. So thank you again, Howler, for that. So yeah, garden's cruising along, man. Then I just started, I've got some big green guys going in my 2x4. They should be popping up any day or so. Some testers of his, and then my bonsais have been going really well. I've got one tangy that's just in kind of my trophy one that's just growing straight up, and she's massive in relative size. And then I've got the tangy crossed with the true Mac that's sitting in kind of my rectangle pot and is all shaped out and tied down and really starting to show her shape too. So it's been an awesome round of growing this time. I'm really glad to have gotten back into it. And I think it was just refocus, gave myself more purpose to get back into the garden every day, drove myself a little bit more, and just to get back into the lights and be in there more every day. So definitely pays off. I'm sure all of the other stuff does too, but just being in there a couple times a day and focused has been awesome for me, and of course for my flowers. And then we'll see what they kick out in 4 more weeks. I'll be at harvest. So about halfway through.
Well, that's wonderful. Will you do me a favor and press one of those Cosmic Queen leaves so we can give some to Howling? A real picture frame, I think, would set that whole thing off.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I'll put it in my tent, and just so my plants are just very happy they are who they are. It could be worse. They could see that. Kind of like when you go in the post office when, I don't know, like when I was a kid, they used to have like the most wanted poster signs and stuff of like all the criminals. I'd be like, you could be this too. Well, that's what I'm going to put up in my tent. It's like, if you don't act up, you could be narrow leaf like them.
See, in my opinion, that's more like telling your kids that you'll never be as beautiful as this, and that's just really fucked up, man. But I guess 2 different ways. You're the parent after all. No, Stoney, quick question: if you had to make a hot sauce, what would you make right now?
I've been fucking around with fermented chilies, and there's a sauce called Chu Chow Chili. And it's a fermented chili, fried like soybeans, and it's an oil and it's a paste. And there's a couple companies that are making it right now that you can get out in sometimes some of the stores, but it's called Chu Chow Chili. And it's like, it's garlicky and chili flakes, but the chili is fermented and it's all fried. So it all kind of really mellows together. And it's like I can just take chicken wings and throw it right onto it. I can dip stuff into it, or you can throw like a bunch of cilantro into it and make it super bright and fresh, or soy. It's just really super flexible. So it's the hot sauce right now that I keep reaching for. Yeah, so that's the one. If I could really nail down a Chu-Chow chili, I
like
would. I've
this
tried it a
idea.
few times.
I'll do a hot sauce with some cilantro and send it to Rev. I like that
Oh,
idea.
how dare you! I was gonna say, why don't we just ask Stoney questions for like an hour, and that should be our podcast? Because all the other times I ask questions, I get shit answers from you. Poof. I'm just kidding.
Why
I
did my
love you, I'll
parents
do it.
break
No.
up?
Yeah. He would probably come up with a good reason as to why it's your fault, but he'd say it's in a nice way.
He's like, "Oh,
Yes,
have you seen
that
yourself?"
was wonderful. Never, yeah. Have you looked in the mirror? Never changed, Stoney. I love you dearly. That was a hell of a hot sauce answer.
Chu-Chow chili.
I'm gonna interject in with a nerd grows question. What do you got going in your tent currently?
Yeah, my plants aren't super happy from being sick all week. I just did like the
Well,
bare
yeah.
minimum, but
You-
I put some work
You
in
get a
tonight.
pass.
Yeah. So I got cherry bangarang about to come down this weekend.
Small
And-
PP gang.
Yeah, looks good. The and then I have backup Terry and West Coast, like in their 50s. And the backup Terry is huge, like really, really tall. And the West Coast I kind of stunted a little. And then I have Grateful, I always forget, is the eggnog special or eggnog surprise? We made so many jokes about that strain, I can't actually remember the real name anymore.
Eggnog
It's
surprise.
surprise, right? Yeah, yeah. Eggnog special
That's
is the banned in
that's
18
pepper-
states sex move.
that's permanent holiday and tangy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not yellow belly
planting that.
custard.
I'm planting that here soon.
I
But I
in
wanted
my
to-
small tent- yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
No, keep going. I'll wait till you finish. I was gonna
Oh, yeah,
compliment
so-
you, but
Oh, thank you.
don't worry.
I don't know what it was, but the in the small tent I have all Grateful's crosses going, and
Oh hell yeah!
I don't know what to do with the one because when I just looked at it, 6 branches were touching the light.
There should be a support group for us who runs his crosses.
And
I
you said
know,
all of them? Was this just like a field?
I know. He
All-
bought
I
the
started-
acre behind his house, and they just threw all of Grateful's crosses.
I started with 22, and then now I'm down to 6, and I'm finishing those 6.
Wow.
And what size
yeah.
tent?
2x4.
Okay.
So I have 2. The
What?
ones that are touching the light I have 2 in a 5 gallon, and then the rest are in 1 gallons. Oh, actually,
yeah.
no. I have like a 3.5 foot one that's in like 1 cup of soil. It's like this much. I'm very proud of it.
Hell yeah, man! No, that's great. I was
Also the
gonna
only
say
one without deficiencies, which is crazy.
I was gonna say that a lot of your grows with the sips now have started getting really big, and I was gonna how do you like it now that you're getting more consistently big plants? It's a lot more fun, huh?
Pretty good, but I don't like having the only thing I really don't like is having 4 city pickers and a 4x4. There's
that might
literally
be-
no wiggle room.
yeah.
It's just wall to wall. Like luckily it has the side flaps, just like Max. But that's I can go in and do the defoliating and all that way. But yeah, it's a pain to like lean over 3 feet to water, like doing like yoga poses just to get the res filled.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. How much do those take? Do they take 2 gallons as well?
Yeah, 2 gallons. I think it holds 11 in soil.
And so yeah.
No, that's great. I think Johnny just not recently, but a month or so ago, had a conversation about how he's going to stop filling his tent with so many things because it just turns into a bitch. Fighting humidity, having to do more work. So I think it's a common theme, especially like if you don't need the head stash, you don't need the extra freaking work and stuff that comes with it. But I'm
The
still going to
tents
do
really
it in
aren't
one of my tents
designed
'cause
to
I
be
have to.
fucking. They're not designed to be fucking growing wall to wall in it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
cool, it's great, but when you overfill it, you're running into fucking problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The
Grow big
humidity
plants,
aspects
but
on.
make sure you're leaving some fucking room around them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
last run I
normally
did. 2 city pickers and 2 5-gallons, and I like that more because I could actually pull stuff and move it around the whole time.
Yeah. You could
Yeah, like you
probably
said,
get
you
away
have
with
wiggle
doing
room.
2 city pickers and a 4x4.
Yeah.
And
Especially
yeah,
photos.
Good at
Yeah.
oh, maybe I can if I really pay attention to them. I was gonna say I'm probably not that good enough at growing yet, but to make them that big,
you
I
could.
think
It just
something
takes more time with photos.
I'm sure a lot of you guys saw my my mom made the Alabrije shortbread from the zine.
Oh yeah.
She brought a whole bag of those over, and that's all I've been. That's basically that and Dayquil is all I've eaten the past week.
Your system is probably so fucking shooked right now. Just like, what the fuck is going on? That's got to be an interesting high. That's a unique hippie speedball for sure. Edibles and Dayquil.
I think it was from my Compton Kool-Aid from Night Owl. Is what the butter's from?
Right on. How did you end up liking that?
It's pretty good. I like it.
Good.
The strain or the shortbreads?
Yeah, the strain. Both. It's a
strain?
podcast. There's
I
not
thought
a
it
word
had kind
count.
of like a spicy, like anise kind of vibe to it.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was cool.
Riches, man. Yeah, I've got that. So I was looking forward to growing that.
Yeah,
All
that was my
right,
first really
guy.
big plan. So I could just give my mom an ounce, be like, here, do what you want with it.
Fuck yeah. That's awesome, man. That worked out really well. How much time do you have currently going? Like how far from harvest are you?
For like any plant, I have
Yeah.
cherry bangarang. I'm gonna cut this weekend. I think it's on 76.
Yeah.
Right on. So are you more doing perpetual now?
Yeah, in the 4x4, I just cut it, replant, and keep going.
Hell yeah.
And then in the 2x4, I've just been running as many of Grateful Seeds as I can. I think I've made it through like 60 of them so far.
Big fan of Grateful Seed.
Yeah. He came over and he opened my tent and he's like, fucking mail.
Yeah, the males seem strong in this. That's and you it seems like you had got the luck of the draw, man. They were just balls everywhere.
All over.
Flying balls. Grateful. How's everything going in your garden? It looks beautiful as always. You've got some absolute monsters. And it's good to see that not only are you giving everybody seeds that grow monsters and stressing them out, but you also have to deal with the issues. So they can't just point their fingers at you.
Yeah, it's on. I never expected those plants to get as tall as they did, and kind of got out of control quick. I know now that it definitely seems like at least most of the crosses that I've seen, size definitely comes with it. So it'll be cool to do some work with them to see what I can find. The Mandala effect is the one that I really want to do the work with. So, and I'm really happy with that one in the back there. It seems like it's coming out pretty well. Like it seems like the Mandala effect and the 91 played well. I'm getting a lot of that kind of grapefruit, creamy that I get out of that Mandala effect with just like a touch of like this, like astringent kind of smell. And it seems like the 91 brought just like that little hint of funk to it. So I'm excited to run some more numbers and see what I see. So, but yeah, that 91 grapefruit that's right up front, that's the F2. That really surprised me. I mean, the nugs on there are huge. So I'm excited to get that cut down and see how she tastes.
Hell yeah, man. I'm very excited. I'm also going to grow the Yagmi in that other box that I have. And so it'll be my first experience with what you've chosen. So I'm very excited because I hope it's good. I know it will be, but I mockingly say I hope it's good because I have a lot of fucking seeds that I'm excited to run. And it would be a bummer if I had all these great crosses and the first one was just like complete garbage. You're like, oh man.
Well,
no, I'm excited.
I'm sure that you had saw. I actually had the Yagni up front, and I I was just slacking with my environment, and I didn't even think to turn down my humidifier, especially with the Yagni had gotten so fucking like the one of the largest, like it just the whole thing was a cola and just covered in buds. And I got bud rot on it, and I had to cut it down. So definitely
Well,
keep
I
an eye
think
on it because it will get fat.
Oh yeah, I think you did a great service to Yagmi by growing her the way someone in Yag would, and getting a typical Yag problem. I don't think there's a person in this circle that hasn't gotten bud rot. So
Well,
it goes with
was
the
a bummer, man.
territory.
It was a bummer. I was
Yeah,
getting real excited for it. So
I am so
Well, the good
paranoid
news is
with
we
it.
can just. Oh yeah,
I'm so paranoid with it this time that, especially with how packed that 10 is again, that I'm trying something new. I got, it should be here this week, spores of trichoderma and Bacillus subtilis or whatever. And apparently, like at like day 21 of flower or so, like the last time you should be able to spraying your plants, you spray it all down with that, and it's supposed to combat like powdery mildew and bud rot and all that. I'm gonna try it this time because I don't want to throw another 10 away, especially of these. I'm super stoked with these, so I'm going to try something new. But I've been bit with bud rot a couple times.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'm curious. You don't have to say the exact amount, but what did it run you? Like, was it fairly? What's it cost per treatment? I'm guessing
It's stupid. I mean, the vials are like $35 a piece, but it is, from at least reading the instructions, it requires such a little amount. Like it's a gram.
Okay.
For each foil, you only do like one spray, and so like I don't know how much is in one of those vials, but quite a few sprays. So I think it'll pay for itself.
So it's not like super fuck you money to get.
No, I think it's gonna last a long time.
Right on. I'm excited to see how you do with it, Johnny. Before you fall asleep. How's everything going in your neck of the woods? Are you also at 1 degree?
7.
Wow, you got nothing to complain about.
I pulled it up as he was talking about it because I was actually curious. It's 7.
Shit, it's warmer there than here.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I get this weird, I don't know, like a safety net kind of weirdness because of the way the lake runs. Yeah.
You're
protected. I miss. Yeah, there's like this, I don't know, this weird comfort blanket.
Yeah. We have something like that. It's 60 in case you guys were wondering what our outside was. I just figured you'd want to know.
No one was going to ask.
No. Yeah. That's why I got so hot earlier. It's a warm day. I'm just kidding. How's everything in your garden, my friend? We can make it brief if you wanted to take a nap.
It's good. How brief was that?
No, that's too brief. That's like how I describe my garden.
We need like boxer brief.
I put the banana runts into that earth box we were talking about. It was super mounded up. So I've been trying to water that in, and as I'm watering that in, it's settling and kind of blowing out the sides now. So it seems like I'm making more room for top dressing. So
there you go.
I don't know. It seems heavily watered right now because I watered down the bottom and then I watered in the top to transplant, and she's still not recovered from such stress. So I'm just waiting, keeping the environment happy until she goes, all right, well, now I can drink all this water that you've fucking given me and grow. And that's and then the
Soulfire.
Yeah. Yep. So, and then I just, I'm hoping it's not the soil being whatever depleted, because it's fucking at least a 2-year-old earth box that's never been dumped or anything, just constant, like no-till method basically. I don't know. Here goes nothing. That's my funness. The pineapple muffins have a bunch of tomatoes growing with them, and they're going fine now. Like I just kind of watch the moisture meter to see when I need to water because they're small yet. And when the moisture meter starts to drop, I water. And when the tomatoes get really big, I'm going to use them as a fucking top dressing cover crop.
There you go.
Yeah. They're like keeping up with the 2 pineapple muffins in there. It's fun to see like tomato and fucking cannabis growing side by side. Like, what? I really am growing tomatoes here.
The ultimate legal cover that you no longer need.
Yeah.
I dig it.
So, yeah, no, I'm looking at the environment with that white widow, and as it's getting bulkier and bulkier, I'm going to have the same worry for that bud rot. So I am thankful that it is winter right now and hoping to just ride this through. Keep it dry.
Hell yeah, man.
Dry.
That hurt my ears so much on so many levels. I'm willing to forgive you. My love is that strong. The time has come for all you lovely people to.
We're just going to
have to
skate without
answer one
hearing about
bullshit
your
question.
garden yet?
We did last week. I figured you wanted to keep that trend up. We can talk about my garden. I'm pretty stoked about it, man. I brought down both my tangy back crosses, and I'm attempting a hang dry with no portable AC. It is not going as well as I had liked, but it's working good enough.
You got like fans blowing air around just to keep airflow.
Yeah, I got a fan
Moving.
pointed down. The only difference is my dry tent isn't hooked up to the portable AC, right? I've still got all the other fans moving air. I've still got my humidifier. Everything's that way that I would normally dry. I'm just doing it without the portable AC because, like I was saying last week, I was having fluctuations in weather where I had perfect drying conditions that I wanted to take use of, but literally the winds came back again today. So it blew out all my humidity again, but we're combating it as best we can. And then I've still got 2 frogceptions growing. They're at like day 40 or 50, and they're in solo cups on top of the other earth box that I made that I cut down. So I'm just I was waiting for the minute to get some free moment to go out and reset everything, and then I can replant. Basically, I'm going with Queen's Banner remix by Daz. I'm doing Mindless Quain by Alabrije, and which was Eggnog. Which was it, guys? Surprise. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Eggnog Surprise, which was the Peppermint Holiday by Tangy in that tent, and then Yag Me. So pretty excited about my next lineup. Yeah. It'll be interesting because it's such a quick turnaround, right? Because I don't have to have my power shut off to the other side of my garage because I'm running a portable AC. So I'm able to just continue on and actually try and achieve somewhat of a perpetual part. I can't speak tonight. My apologies.
Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the wind stops, I should be in pretty good shape to continue it. What's going to end up happening is I'm going to play it close, and then it's going to shoot up to like 90 degrees and just fuck up my dry one day. But that's the nature of the beast, man. You move on. But now is the time for you people to answer a painfully, terribly thought out question. And you would think that as I mumble and go on, I would think of a question.
Nope.
But I didn't. So instead, we're going to go with a simple. No, we can't do that because I already asked Stoney. Okay, let's go with shit. Fuck it. What is your favorite thing to put hot sauce on, Howling?
Carnitas.
Excellent. That's a good one. Stoney.
Crispy fried chicken wings. A little bit of rice starch on them, so they absorb a little bit.
That's a solid choice.
Mm-hmm.
Grateful. What is your hot sauce of choice, and also, what do you put it on? Only because Stoney and Howling answered the first part already.
We did take
Uh,
easy ones.
I
Yeah.
would have to say if my hot sauce of choice. Shit, that one's
Ketchup.
hard. Yeah.
Ketchup.
One that I would get quite regularly just because they have it in the grocery store is probably Tapatio. Just
Right on.
something boring,
Solid.
right? Just because it's easy to get, you know what you're getting. So
Yeah. It's
and
on
then
every.
You didn't
every
say it right.
table.
It's Tapatio. Tapatio. That's how it's pronounced.
What would I put it on? I don't know. Shit. I actually really like putting hot sauce in macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Macaroni
Hell
and
yeah.
cheese and fried up little chunks of Spam.
You've lost me.
That's it.
Yeah. Sorry.
You got it.
My dad.
actually
the only
on
way
board.
I'll eat it. The only way that I will eat Spam is if it's like fried up and like crispy. Otherwise,
There
I'm
you
not
go.
having it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to say solid choices in the macaroni and cheese. Excellent choice. One of my favorites for the macaroni and cheese is the Tabasco Chipotle.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's
That's
so good.
really
yeah.
good in
That
mac
looks
and
banging.
cheese. Hell
And
yeah.
you want, if
Yeah.
you like that, get it's the Samsa House. Get the Smoky J's hot sauce. And put
Really?
that-
Hell yeah.
If you
really
like,
good.
if you like that hot sauce, yeah, do that.
I do it. I was gonna use it as one of my favorites, but he brought up the mac and cheese, and it's
Yeah,
so
it's
good
good.
at that I just can't move it on. Nerd, the responsibility has fallen to you to answer this honestly thoughtful question.
All right. So my favorite thing to put hot sauce on is quesadillas. We usually
There
do
you
that
go.
like every Wednesday, and I like to do like chicken and hot sauce and peppers and onions.
Fuck yeah.
Our
Minus the
go-to hot
onions, but
sauce, minus the tuna fish and the jalapenos. But Johnny, that's called a callback. No,
I was gonna say,
That's
call
how you did
back.
it. Well done.
He said that's called a grand circle back.
the our go-to hot sauce is horseshoe roasted garlic, which Johnny,
Okay.
you know them? They're from like Hudson Valley area.
No. That's
Oh, yeah, they're-
delicious though.
I thought you were
Yeah,
talking about
that's
the
pretty
horseshoe sandwich.
Horseshoe roasted.
That's a
No, that's
Central Illinois.
interesting. Roasted garlic.
We met them at Garlic Fest a couple years ago in Saugerties, and then they actually started stocking them in the like local grocery stores around here. So that's our go-to. Otherwise, I never buy the same bottle twice because there's so many hot sauces to try.
See, I do the same thing. And I have found that there are more bad hot sauces, in my opinion, than there are good hot sauces. So it's always good to have a couple, decent ones stocked. But I like
Yeah.
all your choices, Johnny.
Oh man, it's got to be a fermented. I'm not a fan of vinegar hot sauces. The tart in them isn't for me. I'd rather have a fermented hot sauce there. So, and it's got to have enough heat to burn your asshole when it comes out the other side, and enough fruit that it was also enjoyable, like to umami it. You know what I mean? Like to make the heat worth
My
it.
mommy?
Specifically.
Yes. She loves it. When
No, I
put
get
it. And
that.
and also she's my favorite thing to put hot sauce on.
Okay. No. So you've made all your clarifications for what you look for in a hot sauce. You've managed to avoid answering the question, so I do applaud you on that. But what would you do?
I would say pineapple and some sort of habanero or hotter pepper. I have specifically my favorite one that I've made was a fermented, like a white habanero, which had like a banana fucking flavor to it, and pineapple. So that would be my go-to. And the favorite thing to put it on, would be a breakfast pizza. So you just
What is on a
eggs,
breakfast
bacon,
pizza?
eggs, bacon, and mozzarella cheese, and then like a garlic and butter base. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hot sauce
then-
and eggs go really good together.
I was wondering if anyone was going to say hot sauce on there.
You know, I'll
Yeah.
throw this out there. I'm going to get bashed for it, but so Alabrije has that Blues Ormiga hot sauce, and what I found
It's
is
wonderful, by the way.
it is my favorite thing in the world right now. And this sucks. It'd be better if I made my own, but it's convenient. Is the McDonald's breakfast burritos with that Blues Ormiga hot sauce? It's fucking awesome. It is so good.
I got to put that on. I have been saving it because I haven't eaten anything that I wanted to put on it yet because I was kind of like waiting for something good. But if I keep doing that, I'll never use it like a dumbass.
Oh, eggs! It goes really good with eggs.
Eggs,
I've
yeah.
been using it very sparingly.
Mm-hmm. See,
Yep.
yeah, there you go. All of your
about you?
guys' answers were good. I also pull a little bit of the nerd, and I like to try different ones. But I have a couple that I always have on hand in the fridge or pantry, and that's the Tabasco Chipotle because it's good for a lot of stuff. The pepper plant. I don't know if you guys have ever had it. It's they make a sauce called the California Original. That's pretty good. It's very pepper, like you taste a lot of pepper, and there's very subtle heat, but it works really well. And
Like
there's
green
like
pepper?
No, it's this weird. It's a red pepper. It's really hard to describe. I'm always bad at describing things to begin with, but if you saw a picture of it, it would make more sense. I'll have to show you a picture later. But and then there's this other red like salsa brava hot sauce that a local company makes that is phenomenal. That I throw that on all my tacos. I just load that up or burritos and stuff like that. I think what I would normally put hot sauce on the most is tacos. I think I eat tacos more than I eat quesadillas, but same idea, nerd. Minus the onions, of course.
Tortillas and cheese.
Yeah, tortillas, cheese, beans, man. You can some meat. You can do anything. That's how when I was a vegetarian, I survived. Was literally just bean and cheese and rice.
I'm the only non-vegetarian in my house. That's why I cook that way. Like just stuff I can easily add meat to if I need to.
Yeah, that's exactly why I do it too, because of past living like arrangements. It was you were the one eating meat, you had to cook last and shit, and you didn't want to make too many things dirty because then they get on your ass about like that was my vegan pan. My fucking pan's not vegan. Anywho, sorry. This is Rev's therapy hour for past living. Yeah, I appreciate all your guys' answers. I gotta ask now, does anyone have anything to plug? Stoney?
Not this week, man. Not this week. All sorts of great things in life. So
One of the great things in life. Awesome. I love it. Nerd.
Did you just call on me?
I did.
Okay. Sorry. So this has been bugging me the whole time. Stoney, the 3 feet high and rising behind you, is that the vinyl or is that a poster?
no, that's the vinyl of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Anyways, Paranoid, our friend Paranoid, just started his own podcast. So I wanted to plug him this week. He's been killing it.
Hell yeah. We
Right
just
on.
released the second episode with our buddy Matt Fratt.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt Fratt's a good dude too. I love that guy. So you're using one of your 2 Grateful Nerd slots to promote Paranoid show, which I'm sure is going to piss off Grateful when we get to him. But he has time. Howling, do you have anything to plug?
I figured I would take the hit of the
Yes.
shameless plug. And then
What
you
a
can do whatever
noble
the fuck.
bastard you are. I appreciate it. It's my bearded brother right there.
I'll plug my surgeon. He had one job: get me off the table alive. He did it. So all the love for him.
Well, I hope the notoriety of this podcast brings him more success.
I hope so.
I know he's
Couple
doing
more
rough.
cups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a few more. If anyone needs to have some colon removed,
I
please
got a
look
good.
up
I got a
Howie.
guy.
I got a
Yeah,
guy.
you got a guy. I got a guy. I
He
I
hears the
appreciate it though.
episode. He's like, I did the surgery.
I finally
sober
made
for this
it.
guy?
Grateful. I'm curious to see what you plug now that you were left so many options.
I am gonna plug my wife for putting up with my ass.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
We don't
putting
need to
up with
know what
my
you do,
ass.
dude.
And this used to be
Yep,
PG-13. Now it's just jumped right to XXX.
Damn. Yeah, I probably should have thought how I was gonna say that before I said it, but
Go back
You
to the
would think-
wonderful, lovely things that you were about to say for your wife, dude. Let's just go
You
back
would
there
think
and get back on the trail.
group of
Yeah,
men
right.
would have not taken it so childish.
I'm throwing ropes for you, brother.
Oh, I'm trying to roll back, but for putting up with me on these fucking days where it's cold out and I'm miserable out there working, and she picks up the slack in the garden or around the house. So shout out to the wives that are holding it together.
Absolutely. What a wonderful point, Johnny. How are you following that?
Shout out to this small little machine shop in Southern California that can make the plugs in which Grateful can use for his wife.
That's Hamac Engineering for all your butt plug needs.
Aerospace engineer.
Oh no.
50-54 stainless.
Yep.
To the tightest spec.
The tolerances are impeccable. I will not promise it's the bird, though. Some people pay more for that privilege. As usual, I ain't got shit.
And on that note, thanks for listening, everybody.
Later, everyone.
See you.
Peace.
Peace.